positivity is a good thing. But there's a thing called too much positivity. I always found it weird when I was going through stuff and people just said to be positive or think positively. It was like asking me to ignore all my issues and just blindly be happy. While I agree that we should look at the bright side, I think our positivity is a little bit askew. Today I want to ask the question, can being too positive actually be a bad thing? And how exactly can it affect our day-to-day life? As well as how we can rework positivity to be more realistic. But real quick, my name is Win, and I'm a guy who only just recently figured out what he wanted to do in life. But I was lucky enough to have my mom who supported me every step of the way. And I know not everyone has that. That's why this channel exists, to share and grow with you guys using things that worked for me. But with that said, let's move on to the main show, shall we? While being positive is a good thing, we can sometimes use positivity as an excuse to ignore or avoid our problems and emotions. It can end up being a catalyst to toxic traits like suppressing your feelings or blindly trusting that everything will work out. But the thing is, suppressed emotions don't disappear. In fact, they can get even worse, to the point where you end up with a mental breakdown. Every emotion you have is there for a reason, and ignoring them because they cause you discomfort is not a good way to move on with your life. Your emotions are trying to tell you something, and when you block them from coming out, it will only try to tell you even harder, and this will cause your sadness or guilt to get even stronger. The only way that these emotions can be processed is by acknowledging that you're upset, not by saying I'm fine and I need to think positively. It's okay to be upset and still be positive. These two things don't have to be separate. A good example is to acknowledge that you are upset and that you have issues, but you are positive, and you know you can get over these issues with time and effort. Being positive doesn't mean that you ignore everything bad. It means that you can see the bright side when you're in a dark situation. That doesn't mean that the unpleasant thing didn't happen, or that it'll be easy to overcome, but it simply means that you have hope and trust that you as a person can overcome it. Another reason positivity can be more harmful than good is that we can blindly believe in the good and that everything will magically work out in the end, without even having a backup solution for if things go wrong. While yes, you can be optimistic, being optimistic doesn't mean you have to sacrifice your logic. If you have a plan for if your project or business were to fail suddenly out of nowhere, that's not being pessimistic, that's being prepared. Optimism is good, don't get me wrong. It can be the best and most powerful mental stimuli to get you moving and get things done. Dreaming about where you want to be in 5 years' time is a very, very good thing to do, as you are able to visualize and strategize your next steps to get to your dream. But blindly following your dreams without considering the potential downsides is like jumping out of a plane without checking if you wore your parachute. It isn't wrong to think about the negatives in anything. That is just being prepared and aware. Ignoring these issues completely is never a good thing, as if and when things go wrong, they can catch you completely off guard and you won't know what to do. A healthy balance of positivity is being able to dream and hope that things will go well, but also being able to acknowledge that things don't always go to plan and that we need to be prepared if things do go wrong. The journey will definitely have bumps along the way. It is up to us to prepare and plan around them. We now understand why being too positive isn't good. But what benefits does being positive actually give? Being positive helps to keep your hopes up. It is trusting that things will go well when you're in a bad place. It is understanding that you will get better from whatever you're going through, but that you need to get through it first before you can get better. Being positive is looking for solutions when shit happens. Positivity will help you to get up and keep walking, to keep looking for solutions and ideas that may fix things. It isn't the one-shop stop that will fix everything, but it's the thing that will keep your mind straight and focused on what needs to be done. It will keep you moving forward to try new things and explore new possibilities. There are a couple of tricks that I like to use to be mindful and aware while still being positive and optimistic. My mom has this saying, everything happens for a reason. And on the surface, it can sound pretty toxic. Like you're trying to sweep everything under the rug by saying that it's happening for a reason and leaving it at that. But when you think about it, everything that happens to you really does have a cause to it. This is where I like to ask, what is the reason this is happening? What is causing me to feel this way? Why is it affecting me? Am I the reason this is happening? Or is it an outside force? Understanding why things turned out this way and why we feel a certain way to it can give a lot of clarity to your feelings. It helps me to process what happened and figure out my feelings faster. Another thing I find very helpful is to look at all the variables in my situation. Every situation is different, and there are always new things that can make the difference. Being open and aware of my surroundings has helped me a lot. It has helped me by allowing me to plan accordingly and not blinding myself with rose-tinted glasses. Being positive is a good thing. It can help you to focus on what needs to be done and push you forwards when things aren't going your way. Positivity is the trust that you can overcome whatever you're going through. But too much positivity isn't good, as it can prevent us from acknowledging our emotions and making us avoid processing our issues. It can also make us blind to potential problems by making us believe that everything will magically fix itself. Being positive is acknowledging that problems will happen and you will have to plan around them. It is being able to plan around potential problems while still being optimistic about what will happen. I hope that today's video has helped you to see positivity in a different light, and hopefully you'll try to see your world in a more realistic point of view. With that said, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Now that we're done with the introductions, let's move on to the main show, shall we? Like you're trying to sweep everything under the rug by saying that there's a reason for things happening and leaving it at there. And that! Bro, you stink. And as it can